Coming up on SAMBAZON Dawn Patrol from the Hurley Pro Sunset Beach, Filipe Toledo makes a major announcement as he's taking a break from the Championship Tour competition. We'll unpack how the reigning two-time world champ's decision to step away from this season impacts the title race and the WSL Final 5 scenario. Also, we'll be focusing in on Molly Picklum, #2 in the world. Can she go back-to-back? Good morning, everybody. This is the SAMBAZON Dawn Patrol here on opening day for stop #2 of the season. Wildcards, Zoe McDougall, happy to be in the draw. How about that flex? Connor O'Leary, sensational performance at pipe next to Arcal and Frederico Moraes. Jack Robinson, looks like he's checking in on the bub. Baby still sleeping soundly as he's waiting for the call alongside his coach. And how about this little corner for Australia? Caltex. Hanging out with Micro, and Molly Picklum, world #2, is thinking about defending her title here at the Hurley Pro Sunset Beach, fresh off a huge final and a groundbreaking day for pro surfing at Pipeline just the other day. Thanks for being with us. We're at one of the most historic waves on the calendar, original big wave spot, which is great to host the world's best again. Thanks for being with us, Joe Turpel, Felicity Palmatier, and Jesse Mendez. First, though, we got to get right into the big news that we just heard from Filipe Toledo's camp, just releasing this big statement about his withdrawal from the remainder of the 2024 Championship Tour season to take a one-year mental health break from competition. The reigning two-time world champ will return to the CT in 2025 as the season wildcard. Toledo released the following statement on social media. It is with a heavy heart that I announce today that I'm withdrawing for the remainder of the 2024 Championship Tour season. This decision has been hard for me to make and comes after days of discussion with those closest to me. The WSL has been very supportive, and I am very grateful that they have granted me the wild card for the start of the 2025 season. I am committed to coming back better than ever. In the past, I've been honest about some of my challenges, not only with injuries, but also with mental health. Competing at the highest level for the past decade has taken a toll on me, and I need a break to recover for the next chapter of my career. The platform of the CT has given me everything. It is a dream life that has allowed me to support my family in ways I could never imagine and have incredible experiences. I love this. I live for this. I have so much respect for my fellow competitors, both the men and the women on tour. You guys are amazing. I have so much passion for the sport, but I need some time off to fully recover so I can come back stronger than ever. I appreciate the support and loyalty of my family, friends, sponsors, and the WSL. I hope my fans around the world understand this decision and will stick with me when I return to the tour next year. I wish my fellow competitors a great CT season ahead, and I will be watching. There's been an outpouring of support from the surf community, one of the best we've ever seen. Former world champs, legends, current competitors, all sending their compassion to the current title holder. Mick Fanning, a 3-time champ, saying, "Take your time, mate. If you don't, no one will. Go enjoy your family." He admires the courage of Filipe Toledo. Tamo junto, my friend. We are with you as well, and we totally love your decision and respect it. Hope you have a great year with your family, and hope you check in with us along the way. Big news, you guys. Starting with you, Jesse. How are you reacting to this?
Yeah, man. It's a decade that he's been on tour, and he broke it down perfectly right there for us. But it takes so much more than just being on a jersey, you know? It's a lot of pressure, a lot of time away from home, and a lot of time away from family. So, I mean, we're going to miss him a lot because he's one of our favorites, and he has been and he's proven that the last few years. So, yeah, I wish him all the best.
Well said, Jesse. What about yourself, Flick?
Yeah, it's big news, and we know this is the dream tour, and it's an amazing lifestyle. You're traveling the world as a professional surfer, but at the end of the day, it is a job, and there's a lot of pressures that come with being an athlete at that top level. And you know, he's put together 2 world titles in the last 2 years, which takes an incredible amount of sacrifice, dedication, time away from family, for taking this year off and putting his mental health first and his family.
So well said. And so many great memories, obviously, competitively. I mean, just going right back here, won this event last year as we focus in on a totally different playing field for the Hurley Pro Sunset Beach. This is the Hurley Virtual Eye. It's about 1.2 miles from Pipeline. So if you're walking, I walk slow, probably about a half an hour to get here from Pipe. Beautiful bike path. You can see a lot of people passing by. And it's a whole different setup, deep water wave with a lot of different little mini surf spots within the big surf spot, Flick.
For sure. This is a really big playing field. You've obviously got the Inside Bowl, West Peak, you've got Sunset Point. So depending on the different swell directions that's hitting it, it's going to change where you're going to sit in this lineup. You're obviously looking for west, northwest swells here. We've got 2 really big, deep channels. We've got that one on the right of the screen that you can see there. That's really deep. Hardly ever waves are breaking there. It has to be really, really big. And yeah, we're going to see a lot of big open ocean surf, I think, with this forecast on the horizon.
So cool to see this big open ocean playing field. Jesse, I know you've hit the bottom at Backdoor and Pipe, but I mean, have you ever hit the bottom here?
I've actually yeah. Once I was practicing before the event started about, I don't know, 5-7 years ago. And it was the worst wipeout of my life, actually. The ski came up to me after Jadson was right there as well. They're like, we saw your board just like, you're not getting up, and we came up to check on you, and I came up, I was like, whoa, that was much bigger than I expected.
Okay, so but a little bit more rare than what we saw at Pipeline.
Yeah,
hitting the bottom is a big deal.
Yeah, like basically Pipeline, every time you fall, you're hitting the bottom. So here it's like takes once every, I don't know, 100.
Well, it is opening day of the waiting period. Let's get the official call for competition, saying big good morning to AJ McCord with Travis Logie.
Good morning, Joe. Yeah, standing here with Travis. I know you've been watching the waves all day. First day of the waiting period. Give us the official call.
Morning, AJ. The event's off today. There's some small fun runners on the point, but it's also really consistent, so it was an easy call.
So then walk us through, with the event being off today, very first day of the window, what are you guys looking at moving forward in the window to a potential time that we could see some action?
Yeah, we have a very interesting and challenging forecast ahead of us with a couple similar days to this coming up. Next 2 days, maybe a little bump in size, so we're going to take a look. And then moving forward, we've got a double XL crazy swell coming, but that could come with some bad winds. The good news is on the other side, the back half of the window is looking really promising. Some really good days lining up there, so we're going to keep our eyes on that.
Perfect. All right, so off for today, Joe, but keep your eyes on the forecast because more news coming soon.
Thank you so much, AJ and Travis Logie. Goodness gracious, it does look like it gets gigantic, like really, really big in a few days around here. First off, we're going to start with some small days with some onshores from today till Wednesday.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty small the next few days, and we've got, obviously further on in that week, what Travis was talking about, we've got even a potential eddy swell or a Piahi swell, so it's going to get really, really big here. It's going to be maybe going to come with a little bit of winds, but as we look at today, you know, obviously 3 to 5 foot, a little bit bigger in this afternoon, but that's coming with onshore winds, so obviously off for today.
Normal surfers, get your waves in the next few days.
I know, yeah, because after it's a scary place to be a professional surfer on the North Shore. You're going to see those days on Thursday and Friday just looking ginormous, 35 to 45 foot faces. Definitely out of the water on those days. And then on the second half of the waiting period, that's when it starts to get groomed. The wind swings a little bit more east, or actually pretty east, and it gets all nice here for sunset, and we're going to have some solid conditions and clean.
There we go, and it kind of lets people kind of reset a little bit. I mean, we just finished that final at Pipe just a few minutes ago, so it's going to be nice for everyone to kind of reset, think about their equipment for sunset, a wholly different discipline from what we saw at Pipe and Backdoor. And big thanks to Surfline for letting us know when to go. And Kevin Wallace, our lead forecaster on this event. Coming up next, it's all about the world title race, especially with Filipe withdrawing from the season. It is wide open. We'll be right back. You're watching SAMBAZON Dawn Patrol. Opening day of the waiting period is called off for the Hurley Pro Sunset, and the news that we're still digesting, Filipe Toledo withdrawing from the season after so much dominance, back-to-back world titles, the first Brazilian ever to accomplish that. It has been the Filipe era that we have been loving and so entertained by, and wishing him the best this year as he takes some time for himself and his family. But Just checking out the numbers for this man, going back-to-back. So many big highlights. A win here last year, that really set him on fire, including El Salvador, including Jeffreys Bay. 2 wins in the previous season in his first world title. Those event wins aren't counting the domination at the WSL finals. He's always wearing yellow in those world title runs. First over Italo in the title match, then over Ethan Ewing, what we saw last year. And look at that, heat winning percentage, best on tour, 73.8%. As we focus in on the men's rankings after CT number 1 at Pipeline, Barron and John in the final. Barron's in yellow, Florence number 2 in the world as he's gunning for a 3rd world title this season. Biggest message here, no Gabriel Medina on page 1. Upset in the round of 32, which kind of gets us right into the world title discussion. Joe, Flick, and Jesse. Flick, starting with you, you're closest to me here. I'm going to put you on the spot. I mean, with Filipe out, who's the favorite now for a world title this year?
Wow, it's such early days still, but I can't go past Ethan Ewing, obviously runner-up in the world to Filipe last year, but I saw some of the most progressive rail surfing ever during finals last year. It was just incredible to watch. Just this carving maneuver that he did right here, just adding so much variation, surfing so fast, and I just feel like he's come into this year, obviously a good result at Pipe already, but he's just looking so focused, and yeah, hard for me not to go past Ethan.
Great pick, Flick. What about yourself, Jesse?
I mean, I gotta steal Flick's idea. I'm with her as well. I think Ethan, you take the most dominant surfer in that condition, which is Filipe, and then you open door for a guy like him that it's probably the most sharp rail surfer in the world at this moment, and he's just mature enough to have that world title. And he's proven that last year. He was just against an unstoppable Filipe on the finals, but taking him out, the chances are pretty good for him.
And then also starting off the season with an equal 5th at Pipe, his best performance to date at the season opener. So the 5th seed heading into Sunset Beach. Jesse, though, like, who will be really taking advantage of those spots to qualify for the WSL Final 5 with Filipe out now? Is there some room there from the bottom?
Yeah, since we had the Final 5, Filipe has been in it. And you take him out, it opens spots for a few other guys. I got to take my homeboy, Iago. He's been proven that his backhand is lethal now, which was probably his only weakness, if you can count as a weakness. But in this level, I guess you can say that. And he's proven that. And the level of surfing he's been providing the last few years in all conditions, it takes him to be in the top 5.
That's true, too. We've seen number 5 go all the way to a world title in the past. Flick, who do you think will really take advantage of that situation?
I'm going to put my money on Connor O'Leary and Ryan Callanan. I think Connor just had one of his best results since 2002, where he got a semi-final finish at G-Land. He's now coming to Sunset, where he has proved to be lethal out here. He's a strong, goofy footer. Ryan as well, obviously he had a good year last year, best ever. Then from here, they go to Portugal, then they go home to Australia. So home court advantage, and yeah, I've just got a good feeling about those two.
Wow, great choices, you guys. A lot to unpack with this new news. Coming up next on SAMBAZON Dawn Patrol, Molly Picklum's number 2 in the world now, but she's looking to defend her title. Will it be Picklum's stage here at stop number 2? More on that right after this. Katie Simmers, Big Cave. Katie Simmers is your champion in Pipeline.
Pipeline's for the f***ing girls.
Welcome to the SAMBAZON Dawn Patrol once again. Contest is off for the day, but how about that moment for young Katie Simmers? We always say things like this happened, this was the best ever, this was the best ever, but I think we can officially say that was one of the most important days in surfing history, and Katie Simmers, what a legend. Can you believe she said that when she won?
I can. I believe it 1,000,000%, and I just thought it was some great dialogue.
Gosh, I mean, you were right there in the ocean for that final, Strider. As we welcome you to the show. Sorry, Jesse went surfing. Strider's in, but you were right there for the final.
Yeah, that was, it's just something iconic, right? Those moments and those feelings of a next level, and you see people like taking the next step, and you see the evolution of surfing. The women stole the show in my eyes, and they just put a stamp on it.
It's so true. Let's check out the rankings because it's got a new look on it. Katie Simmers will be wearing the yellow jersey heading into the Hurley Pro Sunset Beach, followed by Molly Picklum. Picklum won this event last year, and how about Betty Lou? Gosh, one of the heroes as well on that pipe finals day. You've got Brisa equal third, who's won here before. Caroline finaled here in the past, so we've got some really strong Sunset Beach type surfers in that top 5 kind of picture at the moment. When you think of world champs and legacy, Tyler Wright's got something to prove as well, but focusing on Molly Picklum, she loves starting off in Hawaii. Obviously really good at piping back door, but that first emotional win came right here at Sunset Beach. She puts in a lot of time out here. She's nice and warmed up for the transition to this wave. And her and her coach Micro have been putting in a lot of time on the drawing longer lines. Beautiful decisions. She even got barreled that year she went on to that victory, so she can adapt well to waves like this. Picklum got to wear yellow last year. It kind of got passed on. So this year, I think she's even more prepared to understand the length of a long season to really be a dominant force in the world title race this year. One win, and so when you think about it, she's only had one loss, and that was in 2022 when she went down to Brisa Hennessy. So it's a very happy place for Molly Picklum to potentially go back-to-back, and that's kind of what I want to know from my crew on set here today. Will we be seeing Molly Picklum take over this event here at the Hurley Pro? Starting with you, Waz.
You know, I think we're going to see Molly, charge through the finals day for sure. I feel like, there's, the confidence that she's surfing with, the body mechanics that she's put together right now. She just looks like she's connected, and those big turns are going to be amazing. I don't think she's going to win.
Wait. All right. Well, you got to finish that thought. Who's going to take that place?
I'm on the Simmers bus right now. We're driving from Oside to Sunset.
Wow.
And it is on. I just feel like she is just on a tear. She's got a great mental comfort, and she's been out here with Tommy Whitaker doing some wild surfing. I mean, this is footage from last year. So, she did really well out here, but I feel like her boards she's got for Sunset have a thinner rail, and they've been doing a lot of training out here, and I feel like the clips that I've seen and the surfing that she's doing right now and the headspace she's in, I'm giving her the win.
And you guys have a similar vocabulary. As we look at Katie Simmers doing a great job. What about your pick, Flick?
I've got to go with Pickles, Molly Picklum. I just feel like, obviously, she was a standout at pipe, and she's a power surfer. I feel like she's improved on her power surfing even more in the last year, and her stats out here don't lie. So, Pickles.
Great choices there. So we've got an interesting looking draw as well. We'll see if Picklum or Katie Simmers will end up on top, but we've got to check out who's in and who's out for stop number 2 for the Hurley Pro Sunset Beach. That announcement for Toledo was then a great announcement for Ramsey Boukiam. He's officially on tour, so that is a great news for Morocco. We also have Sophie McCulloch in. Brody Sales getting the call-up for a wildcard performance. He said, let's go, when he got the news. Still going to be missing Joao Chianca, wishing him a speedy recovery. Remember the Filipe Toledo news this year, and also Carissa that we talked about at Pipeline. We'll see her in Tahiti. Zoe McDougall grew up right here on the beach at Sunset, so she'll be a threat. And known as a big wave guy, Kai Lenny is going to get another shot at the CT. And how about this, a familiar face, Keanu Singh returning to the CT jersey.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to see all the replacement surfers. Really, Brody Sale, you got to go check out his Instagram. He's got a picture of that they used. He said a 10-year-old made it into the Sunset Contest. And it's the funniest thing you've ever seen.
His photo hasn't been updated in a long time because he's been competing for a very long time. Good luck, best of waves to Brody Sale entering the main event. Coming up next on SAMBAZON Dawn Patrol, we're diving into the CT Shaper rankings after stop number 1. We'll be right back. We are so grateful to be kicking off our first 2 contests of the 2024 Championship Tour here in Hawaii, the birthplace of He'enalu as a cultural practice and competitive sport. We'd like to mahalo first and foremost Kanaka Molly, and as well as the Kama'aina, who for generations have embodied true aloha in sharing and perpetuating surfing while stewarding these oceans and coastlines for everyone to enjoy. Mahalo to Hawaii, the North Shore community, to all those who have come before and are here today, bringing us together through surfing. We are truly in paradise. It's beautiful to be here. 7:45 will be the call for tomorrow, with potentially the opening round getting started, and hopefully we'll get some great conditions. Kind of looking like we might have a few days off though, Flick.
Yeah, it does, but there's a lot of surf coming, and that's one of the things I love about Sunset the most, is that it really tests the watermanship and waterwomanship skills of these surfers, and there's going to be no shortage of swell.
It's kind of like one of the original big wave sparring grounds right here at Sunset Beach, and even big wave legends like Jamie Mitchell, who's Australian, has been living right here just so he could get some reps in, Waz.
Yeah, you know what? This place is all about big carbs in the face, and as of recent events, it is into the lip, and that's what I can't wait to see. People throwing themselves up into those big chunky lips and coming free falling out of it and landing it and making it and getting those scores.
Well, thanks, you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Everyone around the world, enjoy WorldSurfLeague.com for all the athlete updates, all the late-breaking news, and make sure you check out your fantasy surf teams as well. We'll see you tomorrow morning for the call.